Hey guys, let's talk about thyroid medication. Let's talk about thyroid hormones and what are you taking? If you're taking something, what is it? Why are you taking it? What is it doing in your body? And really, what should you be taking? And that's the tricky part with thyroid. So anybody out there, if you guys are jumping on, give me a thumbs up if you are dealing with any type of thyroid issue, thyroid hormones. It is rampant. This is the #1 best-selling drug in this country is levothyroxine. We've got a huge number, 20, 30, 40 million women, depending on what stats you're looking at, are dealing with thyroid issues. It's crazy how many people out there are dealing with thyroid. But what we do know, multiple things. 80% of women that have low thyroid, it's actually Hashimoto's. There's some thumbs up coming in, so anybody on thyroid medication, pop down below what you are using, and I'm gonna go through exactly what that actually is doing to your body, if it's what you need to be doing, and the actual science of what those hormones are doing. So also, pop down below where you guys are watching from. Love to see you all over the country, all over the world. And then like or follow our page if you haven't as well, or share with anybody that you know that's dealing with thyroid issues. So here we go. There are two main types of thyroid hormones, and they are T3 and T4. And so these are going to be produced in the thyroid and then secreted out into the body and are going to go and do lots of wonderful things in the body. The active, we will call this our active form of thyroid, is T3, meaning we need the T3 to be out in the environment. And Lisa, you're on both T3 and T4, both of those. So we need to be out in the environment utilizing this T3. T4 is the primary 93% of the hormone that's produced is T4. So that's the main thing that's kicked out. And then at a certain point, it needs to be converted over into T3. Lisa, so pay attention, Lisa. You need to know why you're on both and what probably the problem is that you're having, why you're not getting the results that you want. So if someone is taking levothyroxine or Synthroid, give me a thumbs up or tell me that you guys are taking that out there. If somebody is on levothyroxine or on Synthroid, they are taking what is called T4. And they're taking T4 because that's deficient in the first place, or maybe their TSH is high, some of those things, but they're taking T4, and so with the hope that it's converting over there. Joyce, you're taking levothyroxine, so with the hope that you're going to convert into that T3, T3 is going to go into our cell, and then we're going to be able to increase our metabolism and do all the things that we need to do to have a good thyroid body. So Alice, you're on levothyroxine as well. So if you're taking levothyroxine or Synthroid, you are taking T4 on the thyroid side. That means that your body still needs to convert it over into T3 so that you can have proper weight, so that you can have a bunch of these things. And Mary, you're taking NP. I'll show you what that is in a second here. Rachel, you're taking 100 micrograms, probably of the levothyroxine. There's over 20 million people prescriptions a year taking levothyroxine. So a lot of you are going to be on there. Was on Armor and now on Thyroid. Haven't seen that one yet. So T4 is needing to be converted. 60% of this conversion takes place in the liver and 20% takes place in the gut. So any of you out there that are also on a T3, it is probably because you're not converting over to your T3 like you need to. So the doctor runs your T3, your T4. Your T4 is up in the good range because you're taking lots of T4. You've got plenty of T4, but you basically have a beaver dam. You're not spilling over into your T3. So this, if somebody's just taking T3, this is what's called Cytomel. And Cytomel is a T3 hormone, and that's usually prescribed. It's not that often because a lot of times doctors don't even look at your T3, but it's usually because your T4 is up at like 8, 9, 10 on your total T4, but your T3 is down at the lower end and just not able to do what it's supposed to do with getting to the cell, activating our metabolism, our heat, our ability to burn fat, all of those things. So T4, if you're taking levothyroxine and Synthroid, you're taking T4. If you don't have enough T3, a lot of times they will prescribe Cytomel and just say, oh, well, you don't have enough of that either. Chantel, once I healed up my NFLD, my thyroid went from 8.6 to 2.5. You're probably talking about TSH. TSH is thyroid stimulating hormone, so that tells the thyroid to kick out that T3 and T4. So remember, 93% is T4 that's produced from the thyroid, 7% is T3. We've got to convert that T4 to the T3. My doctor doesn't check my T3. T4 yesterday was 1.4. So hopefully after this, you'll see why you need to be testing your T3 every time as well. So, and I'll write down what you guys need to be testing when you get your blood work done. So TSH tells the thyroid to kick out T3 and T4, and then the T4, most of it is floating around, has to be converted over to T3 when we need a little bit more metabolism, a little bit more oomph in our system. So instead, a lot of times doctors will just prescribe Cytomel. If somebody is taking Armour, if they're taking NP, Thyroid, any of those are actually what's called, and there's another one, Cheryl's taking Armour, those are called glandular, meaning they are coming from an actual thyroid glandular tissue. So, hey Cindy, thanks for the kind words. So they're taking a pig's thyroid, grinding up that pig's thyroid. There's levothyroxine, 150 micrograms. Yeah, Diana, good to see you. They're taking a pig thyroid, grinding it up, and then it's turning into T3 and T4 when they put it into the little capsules, and that's what this Armour and Thyroid. So it's both T3 and T4. Sorry, this is starting to get a little bit messy, but hopefully you can see it. T3 and T4 if you're taking Armour, Thyroid, NP, some of those. So that's why some people actually feel better when they take the natural version, because and usually if you do feel better on that, you're usually under converting, because you usually have enough T4 if you're just taking levothyroxine, but you don't have enough T3, so then you come off the levothyroxine, then you're taking T3 and T4, you start feeling better. So does that mean that's what you need? That's fixing it? Anything like that? No. Some people do better on levothyroxine because they're converting just fine. Other people, they feel better on the Armour and Thyroid, or other people, they can't get a hold of it because it's on back order or had some issues. Had your thyroid taken out, been on 0.25 levo, but have major gout attacks since the surgery. Yeah. So yeah, again, figure out why you had those tumors, all those different things. You're going to need to be on thyroid medication the rest of your life, but you've got to fix all the other issues going on in the body. So Armour, Thyroid, NP thyroid, any of those natural ones are ground up pig thyroid, and then they're going to turn into T3 and T4 in the body, and then ultimately get to the cell. So I don't really have a preference except whatever thyroid hormone that somebody actually feels good on and that their numbers come into the right range. But remember, when 80% of the people that are dealing with thyroid issues, especially women, they have Hashimoto's, now you have to kind of take a step back and go, you know what? You'll never get the right dosage of thyroid hormone if you don't fix the autoimmune condition. And so that's what we do with patients all the time, is we got to take a step back and go, okay, well, what's causing this Hashimoto's? What's causing this autoimmune condition? So it's not as complex as this looks. Basically, if you're taking levothyroxine or Synthroid, you're taking T4. If you're taking Cytomel, you're taking T3. If you're taking Armour, Thyroid, NP thyroid, you're taking T3 and T4. Okay? If you're just taking levothyroxine and Synthroid, you've got to make sure you're converting as well as you should, meaning you need your liver and your gut to be working as well as feasibly possible, because that's where the conversion takes place. And it doesn't have to get that complex, and we can see it just by looking at those numbers, and yet you've got to know what to do with them. And that's the biggest thing. So again, you want to test here free and total T4, and T3. So write this down. When you go, you say, can I see my free and total T3 and T4? And they'll probably say no, but then you insist on it. And then you ask for your TSH, and then you ask for your Hashimoto's markers, which is TPO and TG, thyroglobulin. And that you can do reverse T3 as well. But for this, what we're talking about here, that conversation, these are the things you need to know. So if you're going in, you're getting your blood work done, you've got to get your free and total T3 and T4, you've got to get your Hashimoto's, both Hashimoto's markers, and your TSH. So just running a TSH, just running a T4, just running a T3 is not going to fix it. So you guys take massive action. Hey Tam, great to see you. You guys take massive action, take charge of your health. Next time you go to the doctor, demand that they run these markers. It is your body and your ability to know what is going on in them. So anybody that you know has a thyroid issue, dealing with any of this stuff, share it with them. Get this information out there. People need to know that there's issues and that there's things that you can do and that there's reasons why, and no amount of hormone replacement is going to fix it. You're going to be chasing the tail all the time unless you get to the underlying why. All right, guys. Sherry, great to see you as well. If you got any questions, pop those down below. Otherwise, we will talk soon. You guys make it a great day.